Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the St. Louis Blues Relocation franchise here on Madden 25. We continue pushing through season by season until some of our favorite players like Will Anderson Jr., Dallas Turner, LaMichael Dotson, until they all retire and we see the end of their careers. It wasn't last episode, so here we are again with another season. I think this is what, season 10, season 11 possibly. We're getting up there in seasons. We're getting close to the most seasons we've ever done with a relocation franchise, because how many? I think we did exactly 10 with the Honolulu Desperados. So we're getting up there. But if you go to enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get started. So we begin here in the off season, right where we left off. We unfortunately did not have much success when it comes to the playoffs, but at this point, it is what it is with this team, man. I mean, we've got some good players, but we just can't seem to get the job done. We come up against the Browns for the past 2 years, I think, and they just are better than us. The Browns are a dynasty. We saw that in the season recap. I think they've played in all three of the past three Super Bowls, and I think they've won the past two. So the Browns might very well be a better dynasty than we are. I hope that's not the case, but it seems like that's the way that it's going. And it looks like we have a lot of guys re-signed, which the CPU did a good job by, but we cannot lose Casey Stevens. He's too young of a corner at such a high overall to let him go. So we're going to franchise tag him, and we will move on to the off season, which is more just the draft at this point because we have literal no money. we have so much no money that it's kind of scary, but that's okay because we've been doing this for a while where we have no money. It's totally fine. I'm just hoping the draft will go a little bit better than it has. Although we've picked up some good people, I can't complain too much. We have picked up some solid players over the past few seasons. But who are we going to go for this time? We're going to have not a great draft pick. We could definitely use some replacement corners for the future. There's no doubt about that. Maybe we scout like a Braylon Gardner type of player. He could be somebody we get in the late first round. We could always use linebacker. I mean, that's for sure. Linebackers are always we're always losing linebackers for, did I say 5'6"? Oh, 6'6". I thought this Matthew Diggs dude was 5'6". We know the defensive ends. We scouted all of them. I might scout the Matthew Diggs dude. Let's confirm that. And maybe we can come up with some good defensive players. Who knows? But we'll advance to the draft. I don't even know what pick we're picking at. We're probably picking somewhere in the 20s, obviously, but I guess we'll find out. Let's start drafting and see what happens. Here we go. Panthers have the number 1 overall pick. We are picking at number 29, and here Matthew Diggs got taken at 25, so he's off the board. So here we go. So Gardner ends up being a 2-3, which is not ideal. I mean, he doesn't look bad. He's got B's everywhere. He looks pretty average, but a first-round pick, I don't know. Davis Urban's around 2-3, so maybe we can get him in the second round. Everybody else is probably taken at this point. We could probably use a defensive end. But this guy's got really bad speed. Although his block shed is good, his tackle is good. He just doesn't have the physicals that I'm looking for. Cliff Givens looks like a better athlete, but he doesn't look like a better technical kind of player. So do I want just the raw athleticism that Cliff Givens has? Or do I want the better technique that the other guy has? Although this guy, I mean, to be fair, he's not that far off of the technique. He's got 8 power moves, which is nice. I don't know which one I like better. think I got to go with Stephen Price. Just the overall skills is too good to pass up on it. And he ends up being a top 30 player. He has no dev trait, but that could be changed with a good season. But I think that's a solid pick. Between the two, I feel like we got the better of the two, although maybe the athlete's going to have better overall just because of his athletic prowess. And I think we got to take Davis Urban here. It looks like a freak athletically. Yeah, I'm going to grab him here in the second round. So going all defense. He does have a dev trait, which is huge. Sounds like a country singer, Davis Urban. We're going to go into the third round. Do we go offense this time? What kind of wide receivers are we working with? There's only one more round 3 to 4 guy. What kind of speed do they have? Probably not that great anymore. There's a couple guys with great. There is one guy, Mike Logan, great name, who has elite acceleration. 4.3 speed's not bad. We'll look into him. We'll keep an eye on him for later. We don't need to take him just now. We probably do need to grab another tight end because I think we lost ours to the re-signing where we didn't bring him back. Arnold Hall. Do I take him in the third round, though? I don't think I can take that in the third round. He looks like maybe a late round type of guy, but he's not going to be there in the late rounds. So the offensive lineman, Carson Randolph. He can't run block at all, but he can pass block pretty well. There's a couple round 3 to 4 defensive ends still left on the table. Interesting. What about a D tackle? Miles McKinney. I think I might take Miles McKinney here. I know it's a little bit of a reach, but he's number 21 in true value. No dev trait, but 99 strength's crazy. I'm okay with taking that. He doesn't have to start right away, so I feel like that's a pretty solid pick. We get to round 4, and this is where I might take... I was going to say, this is where I might take the right tackle, but he's gone now. Holcomb doesn't look as good, unfortunately. I don't think any of the right tackles look that good. We might just grab another defensive end. Brandon Smith, 6'1" speed rusher, pretty good athlete. And he's okay pass rushing wise. Dontrell White, he's a little bit taller, not as good of an athlete, but he's very similar in his skills. So I think we might just go with the better athlete at the end of the day, which is Brandon Smith, because he has elite in something, elite acceleration. But they're very similar in their skills. But I'm going to take Brandon Smith anyway, and that's probably going to be the final pick that I make. He's number 114 in true value, doesn't have a dev trait. We got one player in this round of drafting that has a dev trait. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. None of these guys have to be starters, so it's not like the end of the world. If they have good seasons, they can obviously get their dev traits. 74 overall for Stephen Price, our first round pick, then a 71 for Davis Urban, then a 75 for Miles McKinney. I think that strength's really doing some big time numbers for him, getting him that high of an overall. But everybody else kind of sucks. That's okay. Not too bad. This actually was a pretty top heavy class. 3 80 pluses. All right. Maybe we should trade it up. I don't know. But let's get to the season. This is where the good stuff happens. Are we going to simulate well? A couple of seasons ago, we didn't really simulate that well, but we still made the playoffs. And then last season, we simulated really, really well in the regular season and then got beat down by the Browns. So we'll see what happens this year. Our offense still looks fairly good. The offense didn't change. The defense is still good. I mean, I don't see any reason for us to lose these games. I guess we'll find out. Do I want Davis Urban to play over Justice? No, I think we'll give Justice the opportunity. All right, let's go simulate the season here and figure out how good we are going to play. We'll get through the preseason. I think this team could play pretty well. I mean, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't, except for EA simulation being bad, which is 90% of why my teams never do well. But I guess we'll find out. Brock Purdy playing for the Raiders, so that means that Trevor Lawrence is no longer the quarterback of the Raiders. I wonder did Trevor Lawrence retire? I wonder where he's at. He's no longer quarterbacking the Raiders. The Raiders had a run there where they were a championship team every single year, championship quality team every single year, winning at least one, maybe two with Trevor. Obviously, Addison Arrington's former team. Did Trevor Lawrence retire from the NFL? He must have, because he's not up here in the 90s. No, he's not. He just moved on to the Lions. Trevor Lawrence has moved to Detroit in his final days. A lot of these quarterbacks are still on their original teams. Caleb Williams still on the Bears. JJ still on the Vikings. CJ still on the Texans. It's mostly Bryce Young still on the Panthers. It's mostly the older guys, like the established guys, that have moved around a little bit. A lot of the young guys still staying loyal to their original team that drafted them. But let's start the season here going up against, funny enough, the Cleveland Browns, who beat us in the AFC Championship. This time we crushed them. Maybe we're actually going to be a really good team this year. It's hard to tell. We do beat the Colts as well, so we start 2-0. That's always nice to see. You love a good 2-0 start. Get some upgrades for the young guys. Taking on Houston. Got a lot of rivalry games to start the season. We got Colts, Texans, and then Colts again. We beat the Texans. Now we play the Colts for the second time. Pretty early in the season. It's nice to get the Colts out of the way early. And we sweep them 2-0. Okay. This Blues team might have a little secret sauce here. We might have some legendary sauce going on. I don't know what's happening here. Bills are 3-1. They're having a good start to the year. And we beat them. Oh my god. Okay. Titans are having a horrible year. And of course, that's the one team that beats us. God, Madden simulation is so frustrating sometimes. I know it's any given Sunday. I get it. But a team as hot as we are against a team that is not good, like the Titans, who had one win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We get back on track there with a win against the Lions. What's going to happen with this breakout? Who's the linebacker breakout? Is it Justice? That'd be pretty big. Oh, it's Jermaine Kirkpatrick. Okay. That's pretty solid. He came in to replace... he now has Superstar Dev just like that. Sick. That's huge. He came in to replace Michael Keaton, Batman, when we lost him. So... Kirkpatrick now has Superstar Dev. Him and Leonard both have Superstar Dev now. Hayes has Superstar Dev. We're drafting pretty well a linebacker, it seems. I will take that all day. We now take on the Dallas Cowboys. Are we going to keep on winning games? Yes, we are. Did Kirkpatrick get his goals done? No, he didn't do it. But it's okay because he already got Superstar Dev. You can't take that away from him. So he gets 4,500 XP, which is not a small amount of XP. That's pretty good. Thankfully, they gave it to him before he needed it, and we win against the Dolphins. We are having a killer season. My God, I didn't realize we were going to be so good. But we are rolling teams. It annoys me that the one team that beat us is the Titans, who are just not good this year. Although maybe they took that win and they ran with it. I don't know. I guess we could take a look at the schedule, or not the schedule, the standings, and see where everybody's at. I mean, they have 3 wins now, so they got a couple more after that. Or they got 1 more after that, I should say. It's just annoying that they beat us. All right, we keep on keeping on. We got the Packers up next, who are not having a good year either, which means they're going to beat us, if I know Madden's logic. No, we actually win, thank God. And we go to take on the Vikings, who are also having a really good year. They're 8-3. And we win. Man, we are dominating this year. I did not expect us to be this good. I thought we could be pretty good, but I did not expect us to be this good. I'm kind of happy now. A couple episodes ago, we were thinking about moving on from Addison Arrington because we were in a big situation where we probably couldn't re-sign him. But then we were able to fix, as we lose to the Chiefs, we were able to figure out a way to get him back on the team for a long-term extension. And I think that was the right idea because I don't think we'd be nearly as good as we've been the past couple of years if we did not re-sign Addison Arrington. How are the Browns doing, by the way? They're 9-5. They're not having a good year at all. We are the only team in the AFC to clinch a playoff spot. We are really, really good. But so are the Colts. They're 10-4. As they usually are, aren't they? All right, coming down the stretch here. Coming down the stretch, we lose the Jets. We can't really afford to lose any of these games at this point, especially with the Colts right on our tail. We beat the Patriots. Final game of the year. Can we secure that number 1 seed? Yes, we can. Big win. We get the number 1 seed in the AFC, and we can move to the divisional round. What a season from the boys. What a season from the boys. 14 wins is not what I expected coming into this episode, that is for sure. I thought we'd be around that 10 to 11 win range like we usually are, but a big 14-win season and home field throughout the playoffs. That's always what you want to see. And we got a true 99 overall. I think Chris Archer just went up to 99 true, which is pretty sick. Love to have true 99s on the team. 4,300 yards and 33 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions for Arrington. He had one of his best seasons as a Blue. Good to see. 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns for Jeff Medlock. Love that as well. 2 1,000-yard receivers. Jerry Judge had 1,208 touchdowns, and then 1,000 for LaMichael Dotson with 5 touchdowns. And Brandon McCain, 800 yards and 10 touchdowns. He was a pretty big weapon in the red zone, as he usually is. And Larry Sharp puts up 8 touchdowns, 800 yards. So the receiving weapons really, really benefited from Addison Arrington having a good year. They put up some good numbers. 100 tackles for Jermaine Kirkpatrick leads the team by a pretty good margin. Tackle for loss leader is Connor Archer with 14. Hodges had 13. Sack leader was Connor Archer. No wonder. Did I say Chris Archer? What? Chris Archer earlier? Because his name is Connor Archer, so that's my bad. 18 and a half sacks for him. I can see why he's a true 99 overall now. That's a killer season. Dallas Turner has 14 sacks. Hodges has 10. Anderson Jr. has 10. Or has 9, I mean. Interception leader Ronald Leonard has 2. Not a lot of interceptions. Did I change the playbooks? Maybe that's why we had such a good year. Did I change the playbooks at all? It's been a while since I recorded that last episode, so I don't remember. We are playing Dallas and Pittsburgh. I don't remember if I changed that in the last episode or not, but Dallas and Pittsburgh really worked for us, that's for sure. And we will play in the divisional round against the Dolphins. Obviously, playoff games, we're going to jump in and quick manage it, or quick sim it. Hopefully, we don't really need to even jump in and play the games because we'll just coast to a victory and move on to the Super Bowl. That's the goal, but it starts here in the divisional round. Taking on the Dolphins in the divisional round, we got home field advantage throughout the postseason. Hopefully, we don't need to jump in this game. We can just let the CPU handle it. That's the goal, but it's 3-3. It's a defensive showdown here. But we get a touchdown on the board, 10-3. That's nice. What else is going to happen here? Late in the fourth quarter, we get the ball back. We win 10-3. So a defensive battle between the Dolphins and the Blues, but we end up on top, and we get the win. We move on to the AFC Championship. Please don't tell me it's the Cleveland Browns, because I know that they didn't have that good of a year. At least one last time we looked, they didn't have that good of a year. But that doesn't... Only 48 yards through the air for Arrington. It was really a defensive showcase. I know that the Browns didn't have that good of a year last time we checked, but that doesn't mean that this dynasty's over. They could really get in the playoffs and absolutely kill us. I guess we'll find out. We'll simulate the game, or simulate the week, and see who's our matchup in the AFC title game. It's the Colts. Browns made the playoffs at 10-7, but they got bumped at some point, and we will take on division rival Indianapolis for a trip to the Super Bowl. Our first attempt, or our first trip to the Super Bowl since we won it like 4 years ago or whatever with Addison Arrington when he first got here. So I'd love to get back. That'd be pretty sick. Battling against division rival Indianapolis in the AFC Championship, a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, and Anthony Richardson's still the quarterback of this Indianapolis Colts squad. We have a history on this channel with Anthony Richardson. He was the original franchise quarterback of the Honolulu Desperados before we moved on from him. But he won, I think, at least three championships in his time. It might have been more. But we are killing them, by the way. 24-7. Now it's 24-14. Late fourth quarter action. This is the offense I thought we were going to have in the Dolphins game, but that was a defensive masterclass for both teams. But we are going back to the Super Bowl for the first time in, I think, 4 years. Maybe more than that. I don't remember. It's been a minute since the Blues played in a Super Bowl. Last time we were there, we won. Have we lost a Super Bowl? I don't remember. We'll have to take a look at the season recap after the Super Bowl is over. Hopefully we don't lose this one. But I don't know if I think we might be perfect in Super Bowls in this series. I don't remember. We might have one loss. Like I said, I can't remember what happened. It's been a while since we've recorded. I'm not good with memory anyway. So, we will simulate to the Super Bowl and figure out who we're playing. Please be a decent team that's not that good. It's going to be the Falcons, 11-6. Did the Falcons make it last year? I feel like I've seen the Falcons in the Super Bowl in this series recently. But they're here now. It's in San Francisco, the Field of Genes, Levi Stadium. I really want another championship in this team. I really do. And I think this might be the team to do it. Let's go find out. It is the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons. I really want to win another Super Bowl. We haven't won one in a few years. This team has been through some things, some ups and downs, some really good teams in the Cleveland Browns, but this team is the best team we've had in a while. So I really hope that we don't squander that with a loss here in the Super Bowl. But it is 13-10 in the fourth quarter, and I think we did it. We did. Finally, we are back on top of the football world for the first time in a while. The Blues are back, baby. The Blues are back. Miss Juice gets the Gatorade bath. She wins another ring. She's got to be one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history at this point. Addison Arrington, man, he's established himself as a Blues legend. He's not up there with Trevor Lawrence, I don't think, just yet. But if he stays around for a few more years and has similar success to this, maybe one or two more rings, I could certainly see Arrington surpassing Trevor Lawrence's success here in St. Louis as maybe the best quarterback in franchise history. But it's hard to do. It's hard to pass what Trevor did. I mean, Trevor won 4 in a row. So it's hard to do better than that. But Addison's got 2 now. So he's on pace to do some good stuff. Big time win. Obviously, we get our contract extended. No shock there. Let's go take a look at the season recap. Let's take a look at the season recap and see just what's going on. So if we go in here, we've got ourselves Addison Arrington winning a Super Bowl MVP, which is huge. No interesting awards won. 6th Super Bowl in team history. Were the Falcons in no, it was the Vikings last year. But the Falcons were in a Super Bowl recently. They were one of the teams that the Browns beat in their back-to-back. In their three-peat, actually. Never mind, in their three-peat. It was the Vikings, Falcons, Vikings, and then the Falcons. So the Falcons and Vikings are just swapping roles every other year. Then the Panthers. So it's been, here's our last championship. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4-year gap. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess this is year 5. So a 4-year gap in between Super Bowl reigns for the boys. But I think Trevor got 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Trevor got 4 in a row. So that's hard to beat. But I'll take it. Addison's got 2. Trevor's got 4. Who's the better quarterback? You be the judge. But I mean, Arrington's career's not over yet, so it's hard to say who's had the better career, obviously. Let's simulate past the staff stuff and see if anybody retired. I forgot to take a look at that as I simulated there. Did we lose anybody to retirement? Oh, I was about to say Michael Dodson, but he just fell because he's regressing. He's still here. I thought he retired for a second. We still got Medlock. We still got Arrington. We still got the entire offensive line. What about defense? They got to stop doing this. Oh, no. We might have lost Will Anderson Jr. Dallas Turner's still here. He just moves over to the other side. But I don't see Will Anderson Jr. at all. We might have lost our first soldier. Did Will Anderson Jr. officially retire? We've passed Andy Reid, by the way, for second all time as a coach with our 6th Super Bowl. We are right behind Bill Belichick for winningest coach of all time. So that's huge. Or tied with Bill Belichick, I guess. Let me take a look here. Did the big dog Will Anderson Jr. retire? He did not. He's still on the team. Unless this hasn't registered yet. Maybe it hasn't registered him to be retired just yet. Let me go to the full team roster and see if he's still there. Will Anderson Jr., are you still on the team? He is not, so it just hasn't updated it yet. Will Anderson Jr. will retire. So that's one of them down. We're gonna stay around until I guess maybe we're stuck with Addison Arrington. I don't know. We might not finish out his career, but definitely Dallas Turner. He's probably got 1 or 2 more years left. I wouldn't think that Larry Sharp and LaMichael Dotson stay around much longer, especially because LaMichael's starting to heavily regress at 33. But those are like the last two guys, Dallas Turner and LaMichael Dotson. Those are the last like two guys that we really, really care about because LaMichael was like one of our first draft picks. Maybe the first draft pick. I can't remember exactly, but he was one of the first. So we care about him a little bit. And obviously Dallas Turner, one of the last real guys, original members of this team. Do we want to stay around until Arrington's career? Because a quarterback, he can play for 10 more years if he wanted to. So I don't know if I want to go that long. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Addison Arrington. But we're definitely staying around until Dallas Turner retires and LaMichael Dotson retires. But those two guys could retire at any moment now. They're both getting up there in age, especially Dotson because he's regressing. So that is going to do it for the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. We finally got back on top with a huge Super Bowl victory for the first time in 4 seasons. Arrington's got 2, Trevor's got 4. You be the judge on who you think is the better quarterback in the dynasty. I think it's Trevor still, but Arrington's still got a lot of football to be played. So that's going to do it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Peace.